Hey everybody, what are y'all doing? This is Cliffgoat, aka the boy KP, straight from the LV, leader of the hashtag Goat Army, where we are all about that action. As all of you know by now, Call of Duty Vanguard is out worldwide, and I have a few takeaways from the game after playing the game fairly extensively this past weekend. But before we get started, follow me all across social media on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, and everywhere else here on cliffgoat.net. Be sure to type that in on your web browser now or click on it in the description below. Here we are in Hotel Royale with hardcore kill confirmed. I'm rocking the automation auto rifle and a few other just random perks because I kind of don't care too much about what I pick for my loadout as I'm still early in the leveling, and I'm just going to town on people in this game. This is my first game in which I won MVP and my team won the match here on hardcore kill confirmed. I do have a few quick takes though here about Call of Duty Vanguard. Whenever you're playing this game, this is a high action paced game, more so than most Call of Duties on record. I would say that the gameplay feel kind of reminds me of like Call of Duty 1 through 4. Everything just feels fast. It feels like your gun is barely moving whenever you're running around from corner to corner and whatnot. And it's just it's a game in which you got to time your reloads. Time your reloads very carefully, because whenever you're turning around a corner and you're in the middle of a reload, it doesn't matter if you're using the normal reload speed of said gun or you've got some perks in order to speed up your reload. I think a lot of your kills, a lot of your deaths, in fact, may be the result of poorly timed reloads or just someone beating you to the punch. So that's something you got to watch out for whenever you're turning around corners. And also just be aware how many bullets you have in your gun. You really have to think in the back of your mind, how many bullets do I have in this gun, especially if you're playing on hardcore. How many bullets do you have in the back of your gun when you're turning around corners or when you're peeking your head over somewhere like behind a bar or over a table, or even if you're far into the enemy spawn and the spawns haven't flipped yet. So if you don't reload at the appropriate times, not so much too quickly when you drain half your magazine, but if you don't time it right, you might get killed more often than you'd like, not because you can't kill the other person because you're better at out shooting them, but it's because you get caught in the middle of reloading. Another takeaway from Call of Duty Vanguard is that there's a lot of sight lines on every map. A lot of games like your Treyarch Call of Duties, you can kind of get the grasp on certain choke points. Okay, I need to be aware of sightline A, sightline B, sightline C, and sightline D, but then there's a weak sightline E, which I can't really encompass for that often. So there's always going to be that 20% of the time, if you will, that the enemy will pick you off because they're just at the right place at the right time, or they realize after one or two kills, okay, I need to stop trying to go at that person head on and try to approach him from a different angle where he least expects it. It's like being a major league pitcher. Whenever you throw two fastballs for strike one and strike two, chances are most of the time you're not going to throw a fastball on strike three. Otherwise, a hitter will just knock the ball into play, a home run, or just wear out the pitcher by keeping the at-bat going for a while. So you want to change it up with like a change-up or a curveball or a knuckleball, something along those lines, if you will. So the thing is to be aware of sight lines in every portion of the map, whether it's high-low like that glass ceiling you just saw right there. You've got to be aware of all the different sight lines. And honestly, studying the maps in this game, that might be a college class in itself. You got to be aware of all your sight lines and obviously spawn points, but sight lines you really have to be aware of. Like right there, you got the interior sight line as well as the corner of that map. Since this map is kind of a blocky type outlook, if you will. Another tip I have for you in this game is you need to pick the gun that you are very comfortable with when it comes to line of sight. There are certain guns in this game that have like a vertical magazine, which I am not a fan of those guns at all, because those types of guns just get on my nerves. Like I don't know if it's my OCD or whatnot, but it helps to be careful with or just be comfortable with whichever gun you pick, because what's going to happen is on certain maps in which the brightness is not as, or the contrast of colors is not as vivid as you'd like for it to be, like on this map where it's a little darker, and those dark backgrounds might mesh in a little bit with the color of your magazine, whether it's a magazine going vertical on top of your gun or a magazine going east-west or left to right on your gun. You got to be comfortable with whichever gun you pick, because what's going to happen is if you turn around a corner and an enemy's, you know, walking and crouching up on you, you may not be you may not react as quickly for that gunfight, because that enemy is just right under your nose, and just a little bit of blockage in the periphery with your gun gets in the way. So it's important to pick a gun that you are going to be 100% familiar with in terms of line of sight. Attachments may help here and there with your red dot, or like your reticles or your scopes, but you just got to be really conscientious of which gun you go with. And as you see here, I destroyed the competition firmly in this game. We won 65 to 59, kill confirmed. And on this game, I happen to have almost as many confirms as the top person on my team. But on these objective games, I tend to play for the objective, and I don't really care about elimination to death ratio. That hasn't been my thing in a while, honestly. But this is a game in which I can say I took advantage of sight lines trying to learn those sight lines fairly quickly while the meta is still young in Call of Duty Vanguard, and just use that to my advantage in my years of playing Call of Duty as I lead my team to victory. And that ended up being a fantastic game. I won MVP in this match, and hopefully I can bring y'all a lot more clutch performances like that. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already here on youtube.com/Cliffgoat. Click that like button, and also leave a comment below and let me know your favorite gun in the game here on Call of Duty Vanguard, and also tell me your favorite map as well. Again, click on cliffgoat.net in the bio so you can follow me on all of the official links in the Cliffgoat Network. Have a blessed day, everyone. This is Cliffgoat, aka the boy KP, straight from the LV.